Hello. Oh, goodness. I feel like someone doesn't want this message to get out. Can you guys hear me? Let me know. I'm also feeling a little bit strange today. Okay, perfect. I'm also feeling a little bit strange today, like super lightheaded. I'm drinking a lot of electrolytes, but we'll see how long I last. Boy, have I got some tea for you today. Very begrudgingly. Let me tell you something. I'm a Libra and a very kind. And in fact, it really annoys me when people call me a cheerleader because I'm kind. I'm very positive, but there is a dragon side. And when I get irritable and I feel like people are lying to my face or, messing with me, oh my God. Like when I've had it, I have had it. I'm like a kid with a tantrum in a corner, just dragon, just breathing fire like a dragon. So I'm very grumpy. I'm sorry. Um, take it with a grain of salt. I have a great sense of humor. So we're just going to power through this. And we're going to be very sarcastic. So last night, probably like around like 3, 4 in the morning, my guides were like talking my ear off and connecting all the dots that I didn't during the reading last night. And so funny. Charlie Kirk was like, the video TD Jakes where he was like, be swallowed right? Which is really strange. And he kept saying it over and over in his like sermon or his talk. And it was almost like this spell casting, and he was making fun. It was like almost like a meme. He was like making fun of Erica Kirk when she was like, "We're gonna pour into you," just like TD Jakes. Swallow. So, I appreciated the sense of humor. I appreciated the laughs because I didn't make that distinction, but yeah, it's very similar. Cult activities for sure. Um, I also got a connection that he wanted to relay to me was like, that's why I saw a knee when it came to, in one of my readings about the car and the specifics of the mic and why the mic was shattered. I was also getting plastic and fiberglass in the car as part of 2 elements or materials that were in the car. And I, in particular, saw a knee. Now, whether that knee was right on top of the microphone and shattered, I don't know. But if my theory is correct or my vision about the right elbow being bonked on the funny bone and then bent hyperextended backwards to put him in a state of shock and to destabilize him. I don't know why I keep saying destabilize. I have no idea. I have never been to a self-defense class. I definitely should with what I've been through. But I literally have no idea how you would like destabilize with a Marine, like the moves. And it just feels like this, and it feels like an hyperextension with the right arm up and back. And if someone's in the back seat, obviously, if it's a SUV, I don't know what kind of car it is. I'm also picking up on a Tahoe, or like SUV type Tahoe. But the person in the back would have had to be on a knee, I feel. That's why I saw a knee. So there's something I'm trying not to translate it because I shoot myself in the foot. I'm just giving you bare necessity facts that I see without like judging it, like just being neutral. because that's how I work, like, blindly with the facts, and if I try and translate it too much, then I get off course or get influenced or swayed. So, yeah, so that is, what I, picked up last night, and, I got further connections. Let's see, let me grab this card so I can kind of explain. I pulled this card last night. There was something about like the sea serpent, and I was talking about, the known lands, the ice walls, and the unknown lands and off-worlder areas. And I was talking about why Black Rock is called Black Rock. There is 4 black onyx mountains, arguably that could be signifying the 4 elements of our earthly existence here. But there are 4 rivers that flow inward towards this vortex, towards the center of the eye, that is known as the world, the 3D world. And I suddenly got this vision of activations coming through, like a huge rainbow coming through the center. And that would make sense because rainbow activations also, if you're looking at this like wear fleas on a dog, and as within, so without, we are literally sitting on a huge celestial being, and that we're in the eye, like the optical nerve that is receiving the spectrum of light and the portal of the sun. When you look at like eclipses, and it's really just an opening a portal with the moon and stuff. Like if you were to really study the moon and its position and stuff in terms of like solar eclipses and lunar eclipses, it just doesn't match up. It's literally it's a portal. It's a particular time when that eye is opening up and letting more light in, off-worlder, more beings can come in. So I like to look at Earth as a cell, an organ, Russian stacking dolls. And the more that you can understand your own existence and allowing to be in the flow state so that your unique frequency and your unique wavelengths that come in the form of light can be refracted in your own choosing, you can further move forward without getting distracted. So a big one, even this trial, even some of we're all mind controlled. I think that's what we really need to recognize here. There is a lot of mind control. If you've grown up on Boy Meets World or Nickelodeon, yeah, we all have a little bit of mind control and programming. And it's about being able to untether yourself and see beyond the veil, see beyond the refracted wavelengths that they teach you. There's more colors to see. And the more that you can be unpredictable and unplug from what they've programmed in the dome projector, the net, that they've predetermined and pre-designed perimeters and values, you can literally expand past the rules and the laws that they've written for you. You get to write your own. And so where am I going with this? I love Roseanne Barr. I love that she's a truth speaker. She's hilarious. But again, you find these very prominent speakers, and then all of a sudden they go kind of off on a tangent and attack others for being mind controlled, or others for not being Jewish, or whatever they belong to, that tribe that gives them a sense of security. But we all have embodied the spirit of negativity, the devil energy. If you have one spirit entity from smoking in one hand and drinking in another constantly. Well, that can't be of the light either. That's just how it rolls. And it's about acknowledging that we've all kind of made some mistakes along the way. We've all been duped, we've all been mind controlled, and we've all had our own sense of trauma and separation, according to our own bias, how we've grown up, what we've been indoctrinated into, whether it's religion, whether it's our racial background. That was another thing. Charlie Kirk came to me and was like, the human always races. And I thought that was such a like poignant play on words. It's so true. The human that doesn't understand and is only aware of one hue of light and unaware of their own journey and their existence, connected to their higher self and their soul, is always in a race with others. It's always in a competition. So I hope this gives you inspiration to pull back your energy when needed. Yeah, sometimes it's okay to be like, yeah, no, I'm not going. I'm not going. I'm digging my heels in and I'm resting. I am not going to be picked apart by people that don't honor sacred energy and an energy exchange of reciprocation, right? So I say all this because there's just a lot of slinging, shade slinging, separation. And the only way to beat it, the only way to beat the overlords that are controlling this huge machine and feeding it through money, through survival mode, through loosh, is by designing your life in a way that you only value certain things that you love and excommunicating the rest. And what that is your choice. That is your free will choice. So I almost feel like Candace, I got more insight. I feel really strongly that Candace is getting circled in on, and they're baiting her and trying to set her up for something. I don't know what exactly it is, but I just kind of saw her on a lonely island of like really, really digging deep, like being a force to be reckoned with all the details and the facts, but she was missing one element, and it was implicitly trusting her visions and her intuitive downloads without having to furnish the evidence in the 3D. So again, I predict we're going to see another awakening with Candace Owens, but I really feel strongly that the Freemasons, this is all allegedly, for entertainment purposes only. I feel strongly that Lance Twiggs is a mind-controlled, deeply, deeply disturbed person. Doesn't know whether he's coming or going. And a puppet. And there's a lot of doppelgangers like that. Now, I also picked up with Tyler Robinson. I think he got roped into something he didn't know he was a part of, but there is some, he was an accessory or an accomplice, right? And that was by design, mind control. And I think they just weren't smart enough to read the room, honestly, or pick up the pattern recognition around him. Now, I forgot what I was going to say. It was like a really important point. Obviously, the Freemasons are all they're all connected to it. But I can't understand this. Again, I haven't been watching a lot of evidence videos. I try, and then I'm just like, ugh, you know the drill. So I just trust myself blindly. But last night, as I was falling asleep, I heard something about a pocket knife with Lance Twiggs. And Frank Turek. And I'm like, how the hell would that happen? Like, there's some type of item that's like a pocket knife or like Swiss Army knife or something that was used to cut a cord or something that belonged to someone else. But it's like, how would that someone else have the pocket knife? There was that. Now, I haven't heard of any evidence coming out about a pocket knife, but it wasn't something used to unalive someone, but it is a significant item that someone has in the case that shouldn't have had it and will tie a connection to people knowing one another. On the TPUSA side and the side of the trial and Tyler Robinson and Lance Twiggs. Yeah. So this is how we're seeing unfolding how handlers and mind control works, and the whole ping pong match is designed to see how much we can handle in our amygdala. I can't say that. Amygdala. So it's very important to pause when needed with your emotions. Don't get roped into it because it is designed to make you feel like nothing is worth it. The world won't find justice. This is not going to change. No, like it's pulling back your sacred energy and not feeding it. So important. Don't get swallowed by the minions. The big message. Big message. Okay, so let's see. Put your QQQs in the chat. We'll get started. I'll answer what I can. I'm a little, like I said, I'm not firing on all cylinders today. I feel like they really didn't want my messages to get out. The more that I like download and put together, and the more it's like, the more I get drained, or the more that I feel that frequencies are being targeted towards me electronically and things like that. So I'm just rolling with it, real time, doing what I can, and then we'll call it a day. Okay. Hey, Jean, how are you? Hi, Sweden. What is Erica Kirk up to now? She's not herself anymore and seems so dark and like a shell. Did she sell her soul? Absolutely, yes. But I do feel that there's a difference between when you look at Tyler Robinson, right? There's a difference between Erica Kirk and Tyler Robinson. Tyler Robinson is the fool that was kind of set up and used as a pawn in their chess game. Same with Lance Twiggs. And it's obvious that they're trying to also perpetuate the trans agenda as well. So pay attention to the synchronicities and the dot connects. And that's why I'm also kind of worried about Candace Owens a little bit, because it's like it's almost like they're trying to get her, because they know how much of a genius she is. It's almost like they're trying to get her to get him off, like be seen as innocent, but he's not fully innocent. There's no way he could have pulled this off. Neither with Lance Twiggs. Lance Twiggs is kind of like a basket case, right? And you can tell by the way his eyes, he doesn't really blink, and he's kind of stoic and just another minion. But they're also trying to use Candace and her abilities to kind of get him off, like as innocent. So it's necessary to be aware of when the government or the CIA is using your abilities, your psychic abilities for their agenda, when you don't even know it, because they're using Candace's emotion and bond with Charlie, and they know that she's of the light, like fighting the good fight. But yeah, that's where the awakening is coming in. And So the second awakening I see for her. So I believe Charlie's, got her back and really giving her a lot of signs and symbols and yeah, I'm hopeful. I just really there's a lot of ping pong matches back and forth. And like with Roseanne Barr and Candace Owens and them saying that she's mind controlled. And Erica is like, I mean, there was a shift that happened that was big for me that I saw once Charlie was married. Something in her soul was switched out. Yes, she's very dark, but I think she's been kind of like groomed as a kid to do all this. And part of her may not have realized it as a child. But now she has to be able to look at her life and be like, yep, I'm riding for the dark side now. And she's sticking to it. Same with Andrew Colvett. You can tell how she actually dresses for the part. Like she literally looks like she's in a costume every time she gives an interview. She dresses for the part, and that's suspect to me. Just like she looked like a basketball coach, and wore kind of like a warm-up set on stage and was talking to guys like she was like, let me level with you, like I'm a tomboy. Like, get out of here. So yes, she has sold her soul both unknowingly as a child, just due to her circumstances with her family, but now as an adult, she made a conscious decision of her own validity and her own consciousness. And yeah, you can see it. You can see it when she gets mad. Her demons get mad when anybody questions her soliloquy or her monologue, and it's very dramatic and doesn't make sense. And we already know the list that she tried to dramatize on set, on the Charlie Kirk show set in his office. She picked up a note, and it was literally the notes priorities for a show that came out, and she was like, oh, this is so, so much, so like him. You could tell she didn't even really know her husband. Anyway, so allegedly, yes, she has sold her soul. Yeah, for sure. Also, I remember someone asked a question about why did he move the photo? I don't think it was him that moved it. It was two people. It was a man that went in there and switched it. Someone with TPUSA and also a female. I think it's Andrew Colvett and Erica that decided collectively to move the photo. So that's what I'm getting with that. Hi, Patricia. There are two windows opened on this, just saw. Yeah, one's a iPhone version for people to watch live on their phone. So it's easier to see. I don't know. We're just trying things out. Just going with the flow. Thank you. Thank you for your patience. No, I don't think it's the two windows, but yes. Hi, Cam. Yes. Oh, okay. They can hear me. Perfect. Spill, please. Yeah. QQQ. Thoughts on Jack I don't even know how to say that. I don't even know who that is, but we'll go in blind. He was invited by EK and spoke out about overwhelming damn. Of course, there's that word. Overwhelming evidence. Overwhelming. You're getting sleepy. I'm in such a little like snippy mood. He ain't right. Yeah. Most of these people that are getting on the stand, did you see the FBI? What was her name? Caitlin something? Okay, that person doesn't have a soul. That's a person that's like shut down. They have a gray aura. They're literally just like, yes, I worked at the medical center for like there is no life behind the eyes. Like, if there's anything I hopefully can give you guys is how to spot the energy of people, to get a pulse, read a pulse. I picked up on that person. I didn't get to see who Jack Posobiec, maybe. Tell us about Jack. What are his thoughts and his energy? False sense of people loving him and celebrating him. That's for sure. Very, very tightly clinging to very traditional ways is what I'm getting, which is also alarming. When someone has the inability to be open to perspective or even consideration, red flag. And also, it says instability, mentally unstable. So, yeah. So, you're right, Cam. Distrust in nature, regretful, has anxiety and paranoia related to work issues, overwhelming stress. My guys are so hilarious. There's that word again, overwhelming. They're like, I'll see you in overwhelm with your overwhelm. All right. Patricia, our family motto is conversation is a physical sport and sarcasm is the language of love. You have to transmute the BS with laughter, literally. It is the alchemy. It is the mercury. Yeah. Laugh out loud. It's been weird energy. AA portal. Ooh, thank you for reminding me about that too. This is the big up ramp. This Mercury retrograde, like really purge whatever you can, whatever anger with, transmute it with your sarcasm, your grumpy tantrums, go outside and stomp on the grass, give it to nature. Because this is an epic 8-8 portal. This is a timeline shift, possibility, and potentiality for the coming ages. So it's so important to get your mind right and to focus on what it is you desire rather than what you fear. And so we can like teleport to a new timeline and a new quantum leap, because I'm tired of this shit. I'm tired of, putting on the news and seeing innocent young people and children being kind of like cattle, just harvested and roped into such horrible stories and lured into things. I mean, it just happens all the time, especially in readings that I do personally, that I've been reading for like the last 7 years. So 6 to 7 years. Yeah. So thanks for reminding me, Cam. That was another one with my guides last night. And I just heard, be the Mercury, be the alchemist. I had to get up and take a salt bath at like 3:30 a.m. Yeah, I didn't even get to bed till 3:30. Yep. That's the first time I've ever gone live. And I've been lightheaded all day long. Obviously, my sleep schedule is a little off, but I felt super weird, like out of body, like completely like almost like kind of suspended a little bit higher than my body all day today. Been trying to ground. I think it's the sun too. I was like sun gazing and whoa. Whatever active plasmic activations happened with the sun. Yeah. Ascension for real. Okay, Dragon Slayer, I love your name. I think one of his security interviewed by Sean Ryan, he was on his knee with his butt hanging out the door. The fact that we have to itemize each and every frame physically is so ridiculous. Hanging out the door because he couldn't shut the door. He talked about being on his knee. Oh, okay. I feel like it was Frank Turek in the back seat with a knee for some reason. That's what I feel like. But I could be wrong. I don't really believe anything that the ex-Marine says. I think also Frank Turek possibly was the one that's destabilized his arm. I don't know how that'd be possible from the back seat. I don't think it was from because it was his right arm. It's almost like he was reaching through. I don't know. Something like that. I feel like it was the back person. But who even really knows? Because they're such actors, literally. Let's see. QQQ. Was there an on-site remote control center room in UVU, either for jammers or remote electrical conduction? Great question. Was there an on-site remote control center room? Yes. Does this have to do with the paving? Yes, and it's yard work. Okay. Interesting. Maybe I don't know. I know it's just was like mud or area, but I don't know why they would have to pave. Maybe there was some type of digital like nanotechnology or something in I don't know. Something to do with I think it was really sophisticated nanotechnology, really tiny as well. What was the second part? Not for jammers. Remote electrical conduction? Yes. Yeah. And 2 people were in charge of that room at UVU. I'm kind of seeing it like near a gym type of gymnasium, like very tall, a room in a gymnasium kind of like situation where it's like very tall and I'm hearing squeaky like a basketball court, like you know how you can hear the squeaks like walking to the room. That's what I'm picking up on right now. Okay. So such fascinating things that come up when I'm answering your questions. I don't watch news. In my opinion, they want light ESP manifestors to attract and create what they are projecting through fear. Exactly. Exactly. You got it. You nailed it, Cam. Not all Jews are Z-bots and not all Z-bots are Jews. Exactly. Exactly. And there is wisdom in the Jewish religion. There is wisdom in all religions. There's wisdom in all races. We're one huge experiment. And it's just like, I'm so sick of everyone like claiming their tribe is the most superior, the chosen ones. Like, that's a psyop in itself. You're feeding the machine. You're feeding the machine. So it's about recognizing where in your life you're being a hypocrite as well, because we all have human contradictions. And if you lift the hood up and you look at underneath the hood, you'll realize that most of those contradictions are something that was programmed deep in your subconscious by somebody else that really, if you were unbiased or if you would go back to, the birth state of the inner child where you weren't all these impressions aren't already programmed in, you realize, oh, naturally I wouldn't believe that or have a wiring of that belief system, XYZ, that kind of thing. I just heard examine your zipper. A lot of people in this case need to examine their zipper. This trial. That's what it really comes down to. Deception, yep. And sex. Sex motivates all of this stuff in the Freemasons. It's like really sad. They use others to manifest. Innocent people to manifest. They want us to commit sins. Yep. That's why it's like important. Like Roseanne can't get on like a big platform smoking a cigarette like her entire podcast and drinking a martini and wine and stuff and accuse Candace Owens of being evil. Like when you have the spirit, those spirits in your hand and ingesting that. Like I don't think Roseanne's evil at all. I think she's brilliant. I think she's a genius. But you can also tell she has been mind controlled. She's been part of Hollywood. She has signed contracts. You can tell mind control with the eyebrows, the twitch, just like with Lance Twiggs. We've all had it. That's what I'm saying. This is a time of healing on great proportions on a global level because we are all victims. We are all victims, I promise you. But I don't like to identify as a victim. I like to identify as a warrior or, I have the power we have the power of what we want to create in this world, and taking our power back. So important. It's the time is now for sure. Tyler allegedly carved the bullet casings with words. Yes, because they have to do it in plain sight. They had to vanish the karma. It's all symbolism. They have to show you. The whole thing is do as I say, not as I do. And like, you just have to flip it all around and you'll get the spark notes. You'll understand the agenda. So this is premeditated for sure. Maybe it's the Dremel used to engrave the bullets. I don't know what Dremel is or Dremel. That's my Louisiana accent. Dremel, the Francais version. I'm getting a yes. Were there two bullet casings that were carved? That's what I'm getting. Put a comment below. Let me know. Okay. I'm good. I'm a little bit, like I said, I'm a little snippy, a little sarcastic today, a little dragon breath. It's okay. I come in lots of different flavors. I got some Faraday blankets to block out waves. No clue if it works or not yet. I need to invest in that as well. And the not the hoodie, the beanie. Definitely. Because especially with all I'm like posting, I'm definitely going to be targeted for sure. I already have been a target. So let me know, Cam, if it works out. Okay, where are Charlie's children and who is looking after them? At the moment, I do see that maybe the grandparents are wanting some time with the children during the case, the trial, or the prelim. They are not at home is what I'm picking up, and maybe with family members right now, hopping. They haven't been with Erica for like the last 7 days is what I'm getting. Also, this is so bad, but I'm getting like she had a stylist for the prelim. I don't know what she's worn. I haven't seen any pictures of her in court. Like I said, I just caught like the Caitlin FBI person that was on the stand, which was a good laugh. And who else did I see? Oh, the police officer that kind of just didn't have much insight into anything, information into anything. And the questions asked by the lawyer felt were not very thorough, but that's just me. I'm not a lawyer. Definitely not giving legal advice here. So I think right now, in particular, family members of Charlie they kind of found an opening, and probably Erica is more concerned about how she looks and dressing the part and looking the part. All the world's a stage. But I do feel like Charlie Kirk's father is not doing well health wise, and I'm sending him lots of love, prayers, and good energy, good healing vibes. Poor guy. Okay, they're all part of the exactly the doppelgangers, the little fruit cakes. Whew. Sorry, I just got like a big whiff of a big gulp of electrolytes. Tart. Okay. Does Erica's stepbrother have something to do with it? I didn't even know she had a stepbrother. Just opened up a whole nother mind map here. Okay. I don't believe he has anything to do with it, with the preconceived plan. However, I do feel that she's asked for an alibi for him to outright lie to her about the situation with the hospital right after and giving an alibi or something. There's something with health, medical alibi, something like that. And he is absolutely not telling the truth and covering up for her with lies. And she's asked him, requested that of him. So she said that she believes that he's part of a bigger plot, but not the one who pulled the trigger. Who is he? Lance Twiggs or Tyler Robinson? I don't honestly, I don't think it was all a simulation, a perceived illusion of a trigger being pulled. And they're just using Candace to undo the psyop because she is emotionally driven by the story. But it's like giving you the case and giving you, they're trying to use her to get Lance Twiggs and Tyler Robinson off. That's what I'm getting. That's where Roseanne Barr, I think, has it correct. But you got to zoom out and you got to look at how the dark forces penetrate in the in-between spaces that are blind spots for those that are fighting each side. There's another opponent in the in-between invisible place. that a lot of people miss, is what my opinion is. Oh, that example of EK led my mind to Elizabeth Holmes from Theranos. Wow, interesting name looking now. That's another thing too. Okay, one video that I did stumble upon today, which I was like, this was the first, because remember yesterday I said I haven't seen many like videos of Charlie Kirk actually talking. Like, it's just I'd never followed him when he was alive, didn't know what he was about, don't know his mannerisms other than speaking with him in spirit. And on TikTok, just on the feed, one of the videos that I scrolled through was Candace Owens and him in a debate where they had like the Hawaiian lays on or something like that, where they were debating together and like very fiery and passionate. And he was giving an interview. It was like kind of spliced, and he was giving an interview and he said something about Luna. He said something about the debate and something about Luna. And my psychic spidey senses went off. Like, you can tell the names, because isn't Lance Twiggs or Tyler Robinson goes by Luna? I don't know. That was super interesting to me. And you start to notice those synchronicities in those names, how it like mirrors each other, right? On both sides. Okay. Pussoback. Oh, that's kind of an ugly name. I don't like it. Sounds like moist. Okay. Isaac Cappy named Laura Loomer and Jack Pussoback as being part of the Illuminati. Yeah, so I think that Isaac Cappy, a lot of people don't know what they sign up for in their contracts. It's the path of illumination, which you have sold yourself to. That's why it's so important to work for yourself, form a corporation for yourself. In my experience, they closed in on me with a 501c, and I believe allegedly that they put me on as treasurer. And I was like, I didn't know. I just thought they were like, oh, we'll handle the expense reports. Luckily, we didn't get to anything. Like, they weren't, to my knowledge, making any money. But I do feel that there was some money laundering that they either did or were going to, because I was only signed up for a couple of months in 2025. And when I caught on to it, I was like, oh, resigning. But they do this to a lot of people. They will rope you into 501c and tell you, oh, this is for the children. And, oh, this is like, a lot of corrupt churches, a lot of the cult activities, all operate under a 501c to get around taxes. And this is child transport. So if anyone ever approaches you to be a treasurer for a 501c, don't be a dummy like me. Thank God I had like some amazing guardian angels that were like, red flag, nope, nope. And I think that's also why they planted and staged a wreck with my car that I wasn't driving in. Because I still to this day get mysterious toll tags, and I haven't even been in the state of Texas for over a year. And these mysterious toll tag invoices come from the year 2023 that were never there before. So there's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the curtain of Oz that many people are unaware of. But when you really pick up the curtain and you look behind it, you start to see it's everywhere. Even celebrities, when they are like, they sign on for, cancer research and blah, 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 blah. I'm sorry, the big C research and all this stuff. It's all scams. It is all scams. And I can confidently say that because I've first I lived it spiritually, but then to see that manifest in the 3D realm and use that spiritual knowledge to navigate through the corruption and like using the matrix, using the coding, because you can get like you can see it and you could be like, oh, this is meant for me and da 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 da. But you start to use it as kind of like a springing board, like an oppositional spring back to where you can go towards your own empowerment, your own sovereignty, if that makes sense. But yeah, don't sign up for 501Cs. I think Isaac Cappy for sure was a hybrid. He was being tracked. Most of the celebrities are. They come from the same bloodlines. They track certain bloodlines. And he didn't realize. Ooh, I just saw like an orb. Something float by. But I do feel like he didn't realize until he started putting things together with Tom Hanks, Seth Green. And I remember like 5 years back when I stumbled on, I think maybe it was it was Telegram posts. It was something where you had to dig. I think I found it on Reddit, the link on Reddit, and then did some further investigation with Telegram posts. And I was just like, I could, when people lie, when they're lying, I can't visualize what they're saying. I can't focus and I get like ADD. When people are telling the truth, it's like a movie that plays out in my mind all of a sudden. And when I was reading his texts, it was like, it was a movie. It was right there. It was so honest, so real. And like he had done all of the connecting of the dots, like the investigating on his own. Like he'd figured it out. I don't think any part of it was a lie. I don't think he was crazy. I do think that he did the best with what he could with his nervous system, but he was definitely targeted and it's really sad. But yes, he was part of it. But then he decided to get out and that's why he was tracked down. I couldn't get past the Aussie dude on the stand. In my opinion, pretrial is a show. Great point, Cam. Me too. I was like, why is the head of like the police department from Australia that's so random and interesting? Never, very interesting. I thought the exact same thing. Patricia Buchanan, QQQ. After watching the preliminary hearing, I can't help but think that the trial won't go ahead. I think Tyler will be offed. What do you see happening? I was also watching Candace laugh out loud. I think Lance Twiggs and Brian Harple are the most at risk for being offed. That's just my intuitive download. But truth be told, it could be anybody. It could be any of them in the case right now. I think that Tyler Robinson is more controlled, has more of a grip on his behavior. I don't think Lance Twiggs does. I think that is a loose cannon that's about to pop off, glitch out for sure. We got to transmute the BS at least twice a day, play 3 songs, sing and dance. Yes. And that's also like so like, remember that thing I played yesterday to move forward? That, I'm a lifelong ballet dancer and the arm placements are exactly like, from Swan Lake, like going down, up. If you just, you can transmute just by a couple movements a day. Such a good point, Cam. Say allegedly. Yes, thanks, Jean. Allegedly. Okay, ground transducers. Something in the neighborhood of ground transducers, but I'm getting a no for like the specifics. There's some other like 2-part item. I don't even know what to call it. They dug up 10 inches of soil because explosive residue can be. Oh, good point. Okay. Yeah. Which would track. Okay. Another thing Charlie's telling me to explain as well, or give a little bit more insight, is okay. The feeling that I got of cold glass felt like it was in my veins. If it was on top of his skin, it almost felt like some of it either a shock. It felt like cold, like antifreeze or something, like extremely cold, and shards of glass pumping through my blood, like veins. And it started off here and then spread up. That was super significant. And I don't know what that feeling would be. I just have the feeling of how, because he brought me through it. And then the sensation of my funny bone being hit. And then I hear like I feel the nerve damage travel all the way up, but mostly in my middle finger, but all three of these. And then my arm being bent back. So then it was like a double whammy. It was like very painful. I think that was more painful. Also, something about the tail bone as well. It was like there was a dull sensation on his tailbone. I did feel that as well. Thanks for reminding me about that. Okay, Frank was at the back, seemingly right behind Charlie. I believe it because I think I'm seeing him on his knee. Now, mind you, if his elbow, he just made this very good point. If his elbow is hyperextended backwards and broken, snapped backwards, that could be why I'm also looking at it like a knee. But it's an elbow bent backwards. Do you know what I mean? There's that as well. And if his arm, his right arm was like pulled through on the side of the seatbelt, I don't know, and hyperextended or like jammed out of socket. I don't know if that was the side of the mic or the wire, but could have snapped something off in the back, There's that. But I definitely have to trust my visions, and I saw a knee in the back. Explosive residue in the earth. Okay, so I think it's like, yeah, that was part of it, but I'm also seeing like these little like black, like tiny, 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 tiny. I don't even know what to call them. They're like, they look kind of like, in the Matrix, the Neo in the Matrix, where like they had those little like the thing that went in his belly button, and it was like a technologically advanced, like, I don't know, parasite or something, but it had like a mechanical look to it. It looks like something intermittently spread out like that across this soil to me, but like may have like stakes in them, like where they're planted in the earth. I don't know. So random, so weird. I wish I had more context for what I'm seeing, but there was in reference to the pocket knife. That was in reference to the pocket knife. What was, Jean? Oh, Dremel is the brand of an engraving tool. Oh, okay, thanks. Okay, so thank you, Jean. So that means that Frank Turek has something to do with the engravings. Thank you for making that distinction. There is power and subtlety. Roseanne inactivated herself and messaged because of her ego. Listen, we all get off track. We all get off track, and it's usually when we allow our human nature and emotion to take over. But that is our greatest gift, like, right? With empathy, and we all have ego. It's just kind of like taking accountability and realizing when we've gotten off track and having a collective effort towards the truth and admitting when we got it a little bit wrong. You know, we're all wrong. We all have blind spots. There were 4 casings with carvings on them. Oh, okay, perfect. Then perfect timing. I was wrong. I was picking up 2 in particular for some reason. Sorry, I wasn't sure how to spell it. When you mentioned something about a pocket knife with lance, that came to mind because it's small. It's a tool Lance says he gave Tyler for his bullets. That makes perfect sense because okay. Yeah, perfect. Thank you so much for that. Light of truth. Oh, they found different size B casing or something like that. Whose is it? OH? I don't know who OH is, but interesting. There's like an Aquarius, Libra, Gemini energy, Swords energy, male, very smart, very tactical, and very slick. This is such a plot twist. I don't even know where this is coming from, but I'm getting that it's connected to also another schmurder with a female. What? Yeah. I'm going to go as so far as to say yeah, this was also a double cover up or of some sort. That's what I'm picking up. Never know what's going to come through. Erica wore all black to the preliminary hearing. My stomach's hurting. I'm about to get off. I'm going to close this down pretty soon. Sorry, guys. I'm not feeling well. Thanks for hanging in with me. Erica wore all black to the prelim hearing. Well, okay, let me tell you this. That's good that she's wearing black. I'm glad she's wearing black. You want to know why? Because when you wear black, you're absorbing the empathy of everybody else empathically, everybody else's emotions. Now, yes, that might be helping her to mirror proper behavior to look like she is grieving, but she's going to be absorbing a lot of negativity as well from all those Freemasons and everybody. So she's like kind of a dumpster fire just for negativity. When you wear black, you want to be able to absorb things from the people around you. If you're in a courtroom of that amount of people that are shut down or have sold their souls, you're not absorbing good stuff. I'll tell you that much. If you wear black, you want to be around people that are like extremely conscious. If you don't want to absorb the emotions and thoughts of others, then you wear white. That's a form of protection. So, just a little tidbit there. So, joke's on her. I really hope Charlie's sister will stand up and talk. We all stand behind her. I do too. Let's see. Will Charlie's sister make an appearance or stand up in any way? She's being held down. Also financially. I feel like maybe intimidated or maybe they offered her some type of payoff house, or she feels like she can't because there's some type of asset involved, property, house, that kind of thing is what I'm picking up. Three. Tyler Robinson pulled the trigger. Most of us believe in the, yeah. I haven't watched anything on the Mike theory, but I'm based on the cold. I don't know what this feeling of like cold glass pumping through my veins is, but yeah, it felt like more like an explosion that traveled from the heart, from the mic up here. All right, one last one, and then I'm going to go. My stomach is just killing me right now. Oh yeah, I love Peaky Blinders. Such a good show. I don't think the gun shot to. So this tracks, Patricia. I don't think that they're like a couple of days ago when they asked was Tyler or Lance the shooter. I think it was all like staged. It's so ridiculous. Like, yeah, I don't see that in my mind's eye. It doesn't ring true. I can't see the movie in my mind. What I can see is a knee in the back seat and some type of shattering with another mic on somebody. That reminds me. That's also probably why I thought allegedly Ben Shapiro was in the car. What if they had a mic? Through the mic, Ben Shapiro was on the phone with security that way, listening to the whole thing. Yeah, because that's the movie I'm seeing in my mind right now. And why I thought Ben Shapiro would be actually in the car. And then why they would smash the evidence of that. That would make perfect sense. Yeah. Sounds like a winner there. Anyway, alrighty, guys, I'm going to run because I'm not feeling well. Thank you so much for coming and being a part of the investigation and connecting the dots with me. It's amazing. And love and light. Until next time, leave a comment. Mwah.